Right. Should we be back? Are we back? Hopefully. All right. 18 minutes played here at Wembley. England 0, Sweden 0. Still apologies for that momentary lapse in the stream. We had a Wi-Fi issue, as we always tend to do at the moment. But should now be fine to continue. And England in possession. Greenwood. Charles. James unable to keep it alive for England. Here's Niamh Charles. Now Greenwood. Sprays it out wide. Bronze. All right, we're back, says Isabella. Yeah, sorry about that. We had this on the other channel last night. Not exactly sure what's going on. But yeah, frustrating stuff. So they're just trying to play that ball a bit too quickly to Bronze. Ends up going out of play for a throw. And coming forwards. And that's really good stuff from Hemp. But she over knocks it there. Unable to keep it alive.
Yeah, pretty even 20 minutes. Can't split either side. You know, it's been a good game so far. As we expected, a competitive fight between both sides.
Yeah, indeed. Sweden now with a goal kick. Falk with the ball. And she'll look to go along with it. But yeah, as you say, it's certainly not a settled performance for England yet. As we have been, posed quite a threat by Sweden. Which is understandable. They are quite a good team.
Yeah.
Walsh. Back now to Earps. Greenwood. Walsh. Greenwood. Walsh again. Now here is Grace Clinton. Greenwood. James. Charles. Back to Greenwood. And happy just to sit in possession at the moment.
Yeah.
Stanway can reverse that ball out wide to Bronze.
Be nice just to find a goal, just to kind of settle down a little bit. Easier said than done, though.
Clinton. Walsh. Tries to switch the play, but that pass doesn't come off, and it's Canaride now. And she can find Rolfo through the lines. Does pick up Fridolina Rolfo. Takes aim, and it's just a whisker past the post.
Yeah, better from Sweden, turning back to front very, very quickly. Really good play from Canaride in there. Wins the ball back.
Not exactly sure what Walsh is thinking she can do there.
Pass.
Smartly left by Stina Blackstenius. Fridolina Rolfo came onto the ball. Just didn't get enough contact behind it. Didn't quite get it on target either.
No, better from Sweden though. England, warning signs there. Cannot afford to play slotty passes like that anymore.
No. Here's Lotte Wubben-Moy. Lucky miss for England. Yeah, got away with one there.
100%.
Really poor pass from Kira Walsh. Here is Greenwood now. Finds Clinton. She managed to shrug off the challenge there from Angeldal. Now Stanway out wide to Hemp. Up against Anderson. Gives it to Bronze. Good ball into the box. Headed away well by Lundqvist. Bronze gets caught there by Asllani for no real reason. And that should be a card when it comes back to it.
Yeah.
Not exactly sure what she was doing there.
Huh.
Charles. Greenwood. Lovely switch of the play. Manages to find Lauren Hemp. And Hemp wants to take players on here. Skits around Anderson. And has won herself a corner.
Yeah, good play from Hemp there. It's the second couple of times now she's tried to take on Anderson. And, she's done well to manage to get an England corner out of this. And a chance just to load the box and put a bit of pressure onto Sweden.
Yeah, and 1-0 in the other tie in our group. It's France 1, it's Ireland 0.
As you'd expect, France, they're going to want to make sure that's a convincing win. No slip-ups there. No mistakes.
Indeed. Greenwood will look to deliver this now. Not a bad ball into the box. Headed away by a Sweden defender. Didn't see which one. Clinton now. Now it's Lauren James. Stanway. Gives it to Greenwood, and now Walsh. So a lot of players committed forward for England. And that ball does eventually go back up in there. It's going to fall for Charles in the box.
Oh.
But it's really good defending there from Lundqvist to come away with the ball. Good challenge from Clinton. Here is Hemp.
I thought Neve Charles was going to nick it there and tuck it home. Big tackle in there. But let off for Sweden. Massive let off for Sweden.
Clinton. Bronze. Finds Russo. Holds it up well here. Stanway knocks it wide. James. They swap flanks with Hemp at least momentarily. Ball goes into the box. Alessia Russo, and it's there for England. England 1, Sweden 0. A lovely lifted ball into the box by Lauren James. Headed home well by Alessia Russo. Good stuff from England as they break the deadlock early in this game against Sweden. England 1, Sweden 0.
And reaping the rewards of that immediately for that switch, swapping James and Hemp there. And, you know, it just gives Anderson something else to think about. Hemp's ran at her, and every time she ran to show her wide, Lauren James, though, gets the space to use. And rather than try and attack the byline, it cuts inside, takes Anderson onto her weaker foot. And it's really, really good. Just runs at her, causes so many problems.
Yeah, well-timed run as well.
And a really good header.
And it all comes from Russo holding the ball up super well in there.
Yeah.
Stanway pokes it out wide. James with a lovely bit of footwork before lifting a ball in. And Russo meets it well with a header.
Really good play from England and a deserved 1-0 lead. And that is a big goal in this game.
Indeed. Eriksson goes along with it. And that should bounce through to Mary Epps. And it will indeed.
Yeah. England now. Now this is the point where we need to make sure we take control and stay in control now. You know, dictate the play. We've got the lead, dictate the play. Maybe find a second goal to really, you know, put ourselves in a good position. Don't get comfortable.
Here's Lauren Hemp, and she almost loses possession there, but then takes it back off Kosore Aslani. Ball goes out wide, and it's Stanway who strikes one, but it's just over the bar.
Yeah, just always rising. That was from Stanway. I think the pass from Hemp was maybe attempting to reach Lauren James instead. You know, maybe should have gone all the way across, but instead of falling to Stanway, had a go. But not troubling anyone.
I'd say perhaps not the greatest decision there to have a pop from that sort of area.
Definitely not.
Yeah, I think it's really crucial for Russo to get a goal under her belt.
Yeah.
We've not seen her. She's played well for England in the friendlies that we've played, but I think back to last summer, and I don't think she was very good in the World Cup in Australia. And yeah, obviously that's a shame for her. For a player that was so key in the tournament in 21. You know, our Euros win. That was a shame that she wasn't really performing well at the World Cup. Isabella says, congrats on 600 subs. Thank you, Isabella. It was a little bit belated because we hit 600 before after a really, really good string.
Yeah.
Then it dropped down a bit, and then it's sort of been climbing back up again. So, yeah, still really good though.
Yeah,
really, really good.
Tonight.
I'm glad we are. Yeah, doing as well as we are.
Mm.
And yeah, 400 to go now until 1,000, which is the big goal, of course. That means we can start monetizing this, meaning we can, you know, we earn money from it, we can invest more money and time into it, which is ultimately what we want to do.
Yeah, 100%.
Anyway, 20 minutes left of this first half. A strong start to this evening's encounter for the Lionesses.
Yeah.
And Russo trying to turn there, but it's a physical challenge in there, and another one left on there by Samba. But both clean.
Yeah.
There is Magdalena Eriksson. Happy just to hold the ball. And now she'll look to carry it down this left-hand side. Plays it into Anderson. Looks down the line, but it comes off Bronze. That will be a Sweden throw. As England look to get back into their shape. But they are wearing a patch to signal. I thought it was is that a Euros winner patch or just a Euros patch?
I think it's.
I hope it's a winner.
I mean, yeah, it's different to
Should be.
Sweden's, so I think it is.
Good.
I like that. Show of confidence, class. Let everyone know who we are.
Should be gold, really, though.
Yeah.
I guess it wouldn't really fit the kit.
Yeah, what wins patch is black.
It's more like a semi-finalist
Yeah.
patch.
We lost.
A finalist patch, oh yeah. Runners up. Walsh. Bronze, Ruben Moy. Clinton gets fouled there. Well, it's deemed a good tackle by the referee, but that one not. Walsh pulling down Kosovare Aslani. Here is Angeldal. Lovely turn there to take 2 players out of the equation, but now forced back. Sember. And that's really good from Black Stenius to hold off a challenge from Greenwood. And now Sweden holding onto the ball well. Magdalena Eriksson, they've switched it down to his left-hand side. Ball in behind for Anderson and Rolfo as well, but that will bounce through to Mary Earps. Isabel says, yeah, they got the champions patch on their sleeve. That is exactly what we want to see.
Like it.
We really should be looking to go back to back in this competition. Of course, though, Spain will be a very strong threat. They have no advance on their 3-0 lead against Belgium.
I think this team is stronger than the World Cup, though. And we got to the final of that.
Yeah, we weren't very good at the World Cup.
No, I really don't know how we got to the final. Like, we were good. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, we got a nice draw. I'll admit that as well.
Yeah. Do you think that Millie Bright starts for England?
I don't. I like this Greenwood Moy pairing, and Millie Bright hasn't kicked the ball in a very long time.
Yeah, I think a lot of it will depend how she returns to Chelsea, but you'd expect her to be just because she normally is. But I wouldn't be surprised if Serena does stick with this partnership going into the Euros 2025. Ball in behind. I think Aslani's offside, but it's well saved anyway by Earps. Now the flag does go up.
Yeah, good football from Sweden. Aslani there just going too early. Yeah, Rolfo does really well. Oh, no, she's onside.
I'm not sure she was.
It was tight.
I think the sleeve there of her shirt would have just ruled her off, but it was much too tight for any official to call, really, with the highest degree of accuracy. You know if VAR is an operation? I'd assume not.
No, I think so.
We are at Wembley.
15 minutes to go in this half. Be nice to nick another goal, maybe.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I would take 1-0, just keep things clean at the back. And that is into Hemp, who's now running.
And taking players on here. Lundqvist. Hemp tries to get round her, but she can't keep that in play, and that will be a goal kick for Sweden.
Yeah, unlucky from Hemp. I like the directness of Lauren Hemp. The way she just runs at people, causes some problems, makes defenders think about their next move, and unluckily they're just running off the edge of the pitch. But better from England again. Yeah, I think really positive performance in this first half. Very happy with the way things are going. This will be a tough game. We're dealing it very, very well. We're playing like defending champions. That's the big thing for me.
Falk sends it long. Oh, that's bounced through much too much of that England midfield. Kosovare Aslani manages to find Anderson, who lifts the ball in behind. Black Stenius puts pressure on, but Earps claims it well.
Yeah, good from Earps. Brave goalkeeping. But more importantly, decisive goalkeeping, which is exactly what you need.
Yeah.
As England look to build out once again, Alex Greenwood going to loop it over to Bronze. Good flick on, looking for James, can't find her though. And Sweden have the ball back. And Aslani is going to find Engeldal in there. And that ball knocked back to Lundqvist.
Lundqvist, yeah.
What a ball.
And then Olma playing one over the top. That's going to bounce through again to Mary Earps.
Yeah, a bit too much on it in the end, actually. Thought it might cause some problems, didn't in the end.
Yeah, I don't think there was really an intended target in mind, or if there was, it certainly didn't find it.
Yeah.
Just seemed to be quite the ambitious ball in behind from her.
Definitely.
Clinton. Moy. Now Alex Greenwood. Greenwood into Clinton. Clinton turns well. And now carrying it forwards and then puts in a meaty tackle to keep England in possession. Ball sprayed out wide by Russo, and Hemp now will look to take on Lundqvist. Will drive inside now. Lauren Hemp shifts it across to Stanway. That's a poor pass. Poor choice of pass as well from Hemp. And that's going to be through for Black Stenius. Taking on Moy now. Plays it across towards Canaride, but Bronze manages to win it, and now England can come the other way. Stanway James, Georgia Stanway. Russo, James, clips it back to bronze.
Greenwood. England just again building up, about keeping the ball, managing this game as we are in the league.
Yeah.
That is well won in there from bronze. A collision though, both players on the deck, and the referee.
Good challenge from Lauren James. But yeah, this will be a pause to proceedings as the ref will just check both players are all right, but they are now both retained to their feet, so I think it is all right. No head injury, no head contact, but yeah, back to back really, which is an interesting way to make contact.
Yeah. Pettigan Hudson, I don't think he'll be too disappointed what he's seen so far.
No, I concur.
It was a good goal they conceded. I think we've straightened out the way. They went 1-0 down. You know, they've limited England really. I don't think there's much Sweden could have done better tonight. I think they've played quite well. Just the fact that England are also playing really well.
Yeah.
That's really good from Blackstenius. Engeldal runs onto it as a go.
And strikes over the bar.
Yeah, not a bad effort there. Always rising though.
Sweden didn't qualify for the Olympics, did they?
No.
That's the first one in a while they've not been to.
I don't think so.
But yeah, we do plan on covering a little bit of the Olympics this summer. Not exactly sure.
Bit of the 300 metre relay.
Yeah. The equestrian, mainly for me. And the bowls. Not exactly sure when it is, or whether the games will be very good. Should be the normal teams though for the women's games, so that's something.
Do you know about the Olympics? You could say like, "Oh, I'm an Olympian," but not mention the sport. And people would think you're like
I'm a 3-time gold medalist. What'd you do? I play bowls, mate.
Good drive from
Aslani, and it's blocked wide, and that will be a corner to Sweden.
Yeah, good play from Sweden, bringing it forward there. Was it Rolfo driving the ball through England's team? Again, just winning it back in that midfield. A bit of a sloppy pass in there from Grace Clinton. But a good drive from Rolfo, laid it off to Aslani, who doesn't get a terrible shot away and wins her team a corner.
Yeah, Germany, by the way, fighting with their comeback. They are now 2-2 with Austria. Brace from Clara Buell, cancelling out the early brace from Eileen Campbell.
Better from the Germans.
Yeah.
And we're hoping now they can completely turn that game on its head and turn what was a 2
Indeed, they
deficit into a 3-2 win.
Good recovery from England, says Isabella. Yeah, we were a little bit nervy in the early stages, but...
Yeah, ball in, and it's headed away by Woomoy. Not very convincing, though. Yeah. Bouncing around, eventually it's had to clear by Neve. Charles James will chase, but doesn't get there. And Sweden will get the ball back again.
Kosovare Aslani. Ball goes into the box now. It's dealt with by Greenwood, but it's cleared into another Indian defender. I'm not sure who she cleared it into there, but it will be a Sweden corner.
Greenwood there just trying to clear her lines. And
I thought initially she'd hit Blackstenius.
Smashing
no, it is Wubben-Moy. Good ball into the box. Well, Greenwood did well to deal with it, but probably want to clear it into something other than Wubben-Moy.
Yeah.
Isabella says... Netherlands with an upsetting loss to Italy, 2-0. Didn't even catch that yet earlier today.
Headed and it's flicked on, and Charles is going to... Walter is going to chase it in case it goes out. She's put it out, though. That will be a Sweden throw.
Giacinti and Bonfantini with those goals. Netherlands don't look their usual selves.
That's a huge result. That's big for Italy.
And in a group with Norway in, and Finland, who are certainly no slouches. They've got players like Jutta Rantala.
Italy might be the easiest game there.
Nah, Finland are. That Italy side's really strong.
Well, England in that friendly.
Yeah, but that was not representative of that Italy side at all. Giuliana wasn't there. Giacinti wasn't there. Bonfantini wasn't there.
That's a foul.
Everything that makes them good wasn't there.
Yeah, fair enough. But 8 minutes ago of the half, England still leading by a goal 2-0. Goal 2-0, not goal 2-0. We're not 2-0 up. Yeah. Serena, I think she'll be happy with what she's seen.
She's rocking the eyeliner today.
I'll say it.
Looks like a rock star.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
Half expecting her to come out in the second half with like knuckle dusters.
She looks like a rock star. And she's probably feeling like a rock star.
Yeah, maybe she...
England flying.
Leather jacket, maybe. I'd love to see a manager with a leather jacket. Not enough of them.
Not, if any.
No. Oh, just want some proper rock and roll manager. I feel like Simeone in the men's game could rock one. I'd have already got one, probably in beige.
Yeah, his crap coat collection.
Ball in behind, but Earps will claim it. Knock it out of play for a Sweden throw.
I'll be intrigued to see how many times Marius has played that out ball to like off the pitch. Like I'm not purposely knocking it out. Every time it comes to this near side, and it curls away from the pitch.
Trying to pick out Weigmann.
Yeah.
Lundqvist.
That's pretty easy from the throw to find Blackstenius.
No, and Kanaride can't keep it in play. Comes off Hemp though, and that will be a Sweden throw.
Really
Here
good
is
for Sweden.
Kanaride. Looking to take players on here. That's a really tempting ball across the box. But fortunately for England, no one for Sweden there to tuck it home.
Rolfo Blackstenius made the same run, and that's good for
Bronze goes
Rolfo.
down under little contact. Again against their domestic teammate. Ball into the box, headed away by Charles. Will drop now for Angeldal. One back by Charles, drops again for Angeldal. Lays it off. Rolfo fires one into the face of Kira Walsh. Now Russo. Hemp. Stanway. Tries to carry it forward. Aslani commits a professional foul. And she's going to earn herself a talking to here from the official.
Yeah, this is really good. Put down the right-hand side from Sweden. Kanaride.
This is a glorious opportunity for Sweden.
It's really well worked, and to be honest, it deserved a goal. The play beforehand was really strong. A few passes, managing to play through England and that again.
Stanway loses it again. Aslani tries to play it through, one back by England.
Pass was let down there. She did really well initially. She let herself down with the pass.
Yeah. Rubenmoy picks out Russo. Here is Bronze. Walsh. James. Walsh. James.
That's a great
Sprays it out wide. Here's Lauren Hemp.
Again, going to tap
Let's
her
take
right back.
players on here. Hemp. Charles. Walsh back to Charles. Charles looks to play it inside. Finds Lauren James. She turns on the ball. And then tries to pick out a bit of an impossible pass there. And it doesn't come off. But England then do recover the ball quite quickly. Greenwood. Charles back to Greenwood. And she waits for the pressure, then goes into Charles, who finds Walsh. Walsh finds Stanway, who's got time to turn. And then try and pick out a pass, but it's overhit from Georgia Stanway. And unfortunately, Lauren Hemp cannot move at the speed of light. So it goes out of play.
Think we're getting a goal for half time, or we're going into the break 1-0?
I expect it will be England 1, Sweden 0 going into the break.
Fair enough.
But I'm not sure.
I'm thinking the same thing. So
Isabella says, oh wow, Sweden really could have a goal there. Yeah, I have to agree. That was a glaring opportunity that went begging for the Swedes. And that's Sinclair, welcome to the stream as well, saying, hi everyone, good to see you, Alex.
Hello, mate. Welcome.
As always. That kind of unable to hold on to the ball there under pressure from Hemp, knocks it out of play, and that'll be an England throw. A good position from this for England to actually make something of it. And she looks for that direct ball into Russo, finds it. Ball down to Clinton, blocked really well. Going to fall to Bronze. Bronze cushions it to Stanway. Thought Stanway might unleash an effort. But luckily she's not troubling any of the fans today as we move it back. Greenwood, Stanway, Walsh. Turns well with pressure from Kanaride. And turns again to go back into Greenwood. I think 1-0 into half-time says Isabella. Yeah, fair enough. I can't see us scoring again, to be honest, and I hope Sweden don't score.
Wait, do Isabella, you'll know this. Do the other, so everyone outside Europe, they just play friendlies during this international break?
Well, I know there's. Oh, I believe there's a Copa America.
But like, what are the Matildas doing at the moment, apart from recording cute international squad announcement videos with Harper?
Probably that. They just do that all the time.
Yeah. Greenwood.
They have nothing on football until the Olympics.
Right.
Well, they have drawn the games and set the dates, so that's good to know.
Right, okay.
other than the CAF side that haven't been drawn yet. I haven't been qualified yet.
Charles.
That's for Germany, USA, and one other. Australia.
These some brilliant games.
Should be. Crazy that Germany is there.
Greenwood, that's a great switch to Lauren. No, it's not.
James, this is not that tall, unfortunately.
No.
It wouldn't be very good if she was that tall. Look, many of the things that make her brilliant, though.
Couple minutes to go.
Oh, Isabella says, yeah, we're doing friendlies right now, playing Mexico in like 4 days. Unfortunately, it's not on FootMob.
All right. But I doubt that'll be. You expect a rotated side. I'm not expecting to see, these, especially the fixture is so packed.
It's 1 a.m. on Wednesday, if you fancy that.
Oh, yeah. Should we do a stream, Isabella? We'll do a stream. 1 a.m. Australia, Mexico. Us two and you will just sit here ourselves. Might go up to a massive.
I don't even think we'll be able to watch it, unfortunately. Can I ride? And that would only be 3 hours after our. I know it won't be 3 hours after our last stream because we're not able to stream the Tuesday Champions League game, are we?
Oh, yeah, no.
Here is Charles. Yeah, we've got a very exciting month ahead for the channel.
Yeah.
Champions League ties at the end of April. We will do the first leg of Chelsea-Barcelona, by the way. Don't think we're going to be doing the second leg, though, for many reasons. Mainly the fact we won't be here. Hemp. Walsh. Charles. James. Plays it towards Alessia Russo, but that's not going to come off, and that'll bounce through for a goal kick. Yeah. Not really sure what content we can make at grounds. Don't think we're the vlogging type. 3 minutes of additional time, by the way, in this first half.
Yeah, I'll just stand outside Stanton Bridge and just yell and just be obnoxious and loud.
Maybe we should start,
everyone.
Chelsea Women Fan TV, and we just stand outside the stadium after a game, get really annoyed about nothing.
Yeah.
Find a little man with a cap who can shout, Russo, you're a cheat. You're a cheat. But yeah. Here is Alessia Russo. Now Clinton.
Get Hayes out of my club.
No,
if any Chelsea fan ever says that, they do.
Yeah. They're not a Chelsea fan. They're undercover.
Yeah.
They're a Tottenham fan or Arsenal fan.
That's a funny comment I saw today. So they announced the nominations for the WSL Manager of the Month. And Hayes was on it. And someone said, how can you nominate Hayes after her attitude and performance in the Conti Cup?
Knew that was coming. Oh, yeah.
Also, England fans now sending down some paper aeroplanes. Someone's reached the centre set, which is very impressive.
I don't know why they put the paper out.
No.
Whoever is doing it at Wembley before this goes, because the same thing happens in every match there.
But I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
Stanway trip there by Zigotti Olma. Zigiotti.
Oh yeah, I just say Olma.
Uh-huh.
Zigiotti Olma, yeah, but yeah. Isabella says, how do you think we'll go after Hayes is gone? It's impossible to say, Isabella. I think it very much depends on who comes in next and whether the manager is a good fit with the squad.
Pastor, we win the quadruple.
Well, exactly. That's the thing. One thing people haven't considered is it might well be an upgrade. Like that's the best case scenario.
Is Bonpastor an upgrade on Hayes?
I love Emma Hayes. I would never say
wow.
No. I'm going to make a controversial statement. Agreed, and she could be terrible at Chelsea, very much so. But the fact is, Bonpastor has won Champions League titles.
I can't diss Emma like that. Yeah, but I do not think if Hayes had that Leon side, she also wins titles.
Well, I guess it would all depend. If Bonpastor comes to Chelsea and wins Champions League titles, then
maybe. But equally, Chelsea looks so.
But Hayes will always be Chelsea's best ever manager because she made Chelsea what it is today.
Yeah, and you can argue, she's as much people might not like her, Arsenal fans. She's played a pivotal role in the development of women's football.
Yeah, Belgium Spain underway for the second half. By the way, it took Spain 2 minutes to add to their.
Speaking of, that's half time.
And there we go, half time here at Wembley. England 1, Sweden 0. a strong first half, quite a tightly contested first half, but one in which England do come out slightly ahead. A goal for Leicester showed the only difference in the first 45.
Yeah, good half football. Pretty happy with the way it's gone. We've been the better side. We've had a couple scares, but we've dealt with them well. We've played some really nice stuff, and we deservedly are winning this game. Not much to but
Could do. Anyway.
Yeah, I think get your thoughts.
We did drop some frames in the way.
In the
Yeah,
it's reset. But yeah, get your thoughts in the chat below before I get into mine. I'm just gonna check everything's okay. So yeah, let me know what you thought of that first half. Sorry, second half. But all in all, a really good half for the Lionesses. We played some really good football. It was a well-worked move to get the goal. It was a really positive half, I feel, for England. We look good. We look dangerous. We look good coming forward. Defensively, yeah, okay. Maybe in certain areas, Sweden did cause us problems, and we did get a bit fortunate at times that Sweden didn't take their chances, but we have limited them to very little opportunities to score, and that has benefited us massively. And eventually we got that goal. We know Serena on that halfway through the first 45, on that 23rd minute, we know Serena likes to swap our wingers round, and we saw that to full effect in the same minute. 23rd minute, Hemp and James swapped. 24th minute, we get a goal because Lauren James on that right-hand side runs directly at Anderson, who isn't expecting it. She's dealt with Hemp for 23 minutes, but now she's got a new challenge in Lauren James. She can't deal with it. James gets the ball in, and a really smart piece of movement from Alessia Russo to get to the ball and head it home for England 1, Sweden 0. As I say, Sweden had chances. Rolfo had one. The biggest one was where they had that really good spell of football down the right-hand side. Canaride flashed the ball across the box, and nobody was at the far post to meet it. And it was because Blackstenius and Rolfo made the same run. So really disappointing for Sweden in that moment. But to be completely honest, I don't think Sweden could have done much more in this game. I think they've actually played quite well. They've pushed England. They've tested England. And they're quite unfortunate to be 1-0 down. They're only 1-0 down because England are just playing better. There's nothing Sweden can do about that. England are just the better side and really playing some good stuff for the Lionesses, and I'm really impressed with that first 45. I just hope it continues, and I hope that we don't drop the standard and we keep pushing into that second half. Let me have a look at what you guys are saying. Isabella says, I think both sides have been pretty strong. Sweden picked up more later into the half. Yeah, definitely. As the half grew on, after we'd scored, maybe we got a little bit too comfortable, and Sweden, as you say, started to come forward a little bit more. Alex says, I keep going back and forth, but it is the fact that hang on, I just need to go back to this way a little bit. I keep going back and forth on it. It's the fact Emma Hayes has built so much for Chelsea, going to be difficult for a new manager, or will what she has built. Yeah, to be completely honest, it really depends on who comes in, because if it is a born winner like Sonia Bon Pastor, I think she can just take what Emma Hayes has built. Whereas if you're looking for a young, up-and-coming manager who maybe wants to play a different style, then maybe it might take time and it might be a bit more difficult. But yeah, I agree with you. I'm kind of sat on the fence. It really depends wwho we bring in. Seems to be fairly controlled points for England so far. Let's hope we push on in the second half, get a goal, 2 kill again. Exactly that. We're in that period of time now where we've got the first goal. Now we need to push on in the second half, find a second goal, find a third goal, assume our dominance and really put this game to bed, so then we can start to bring on changes, start to rest a few players who have played a lot of minutes recently, especially your Arsenal and Chelsea players who had to play in extra time in that Continental Cup final. Mr. Big Piss, welcome, mate. Sweden has used Canaride more and Hemp is not good on the right. Canaride, she has looked good when she has been involved, but I get what you mean. If they can get her involved more, she's going to cause England problems, and they need to keep doing that. And with Hemp, we definitely saw that effect when she came off of the right-hand side and was moved onto the left, and we got that goal because we swapped those wingers over. So definitely, I think Lauren Hemp did struggle a little bit on that right-hand side. Mr. Big Chris also saying, is Natalie Bjorn playing? No, she is not. I didn't realise this. No one else realises. She was injured in the last couple of weeks. As Chelsea put out a post this morning with her and Sam Kerr in rehabilitation together. Yeah. So Bjorn has just come back from injury. She's still getting back to fully fit. So I don't think she was called up for Sweden. And she's definitely not playing tonight. And one more coming from Crazy Counts. Welcome to the stream. That was horrible defending from Sembrant. Yeah, Russo just manages to make that smart run in between the two centre halves, and maybe just not aware to her surroundings with Sembrant there, and didn't realise where Russo was. And you could argue, I suppose, that maybe she should have been a bit more aware of what Alessia Russo was doing. Well,
thank you. It's a wonderfully timed run by Alessia Russo. It's what catches Sembrant unaware, really. But overall, a very good first half for the Lionesses, as we come to expect, really, with England. And it's shown to be a difficult game, as we sort of expected in build-up. But I still think England look the much more comfortable side. Sweden have had chances, but their failure to capitalise on any and turn them into clear-cut opportunities has been the distinct difference in this game so far. And even when they have drilled balls across the box, no one's been there to touch it in, or like we did, head it in. So I feel like that's been the key difference so far. I feel like Stenius and Russo were seeing exactly today why they're very different strikers.
Yeah.
Russo's a bit more... She uses her initiative a bit more. I mean, it's a little bit better. And her link-up plays a little bit better. But Stenius hasn't really got on the ball today. Hasn't really been involved in what's been good for Sweden. A lot of it's come down the flanks, where you've got Fridolina Rolfo and Joanna Wright and Canna Wright. Now, while they are brilliant footballers, they can't do it all. And they are missing a lot at the moment through the middle. Obviously, Blackstenius has been a fantastic player for Sweden for years, but I don't think she's offering what they need in this game. Yeah,
Blackstenius is definitely one of those strikers where if you get her the ball in front of goal, she will score. She's a deadly finisher. If she's in the position to score, she will score. But it's when she needs to play her own part in getting into that position, maybe that's Sweden let down a little bit. Because Russo, for me, her movement is what makes her so good. It's her biggest tool.
Yeah, I feel like as the tactical side of the game is increasing and evolving and developing at a real fast rate. It's not full time.
Sorry, guys.
At a really fast rate. We're seeing players like Vivian Miedemar, players like Stina Blackstenius, even Sam Kerr to a certain extent, are sort of being phased out, because to be a striker now, you can't just be the player that scores goals. You've got to be, as we see in players like Khadija Shaw, Rachel Daly, Alessia Russo, those younger forwards.
Yeah.
You've got to be able to receive the ball. You've got to be able to link up the play. You've got to be able to bring others into the game. You've got to be able to do so much more than what strikers were used to do.
Yeah.
The point of a striker used to be get the ball in behind and they'll score goals. That's why Sam Kerr was one of the best forwards in the league. But now that it's a little bit more about the overall play, it's a very different role that strikers are being asked to do nowadays.
Yeah, 100%. And I think, as you say, as the game develops, we are going to see different, types of strikers come through and really take the game by storm. But Russo, is up there for me. She's one of the best strikers in the world. She's an absolutely phenomenal player, and I really do think second season next year for Arsenal, she could be phenomenal. Could we see her challenge Khadija Shaw in terms of numbers? Who knows?
If Arsenal can, seriously sort their team out, then definitely so. Just want to make a point as well. Germany 3-2 ups. They've completed their comeback there. That's a really strong performance for the Germans, who disappointed at the last World Cup, and we're hoping to get back to the incredible form that led them to the Euros final just 3 years ago.
Yeah, very slow start tonight for the Germans, but they have recovered that, and that will be big for the side. And they'll probably go on and score a 4 or 5 now and really solidify that. Bit disappointing for Austria, though.
Yeah.
But Germany, what's the words? They are resuming normality.
Yeah, I'd say so. I think Austria, while they are a decent side, I think sort of exemplified by the fact England put a good few past them last time they played. I don't think they're at the level of a Germany right now. And the fact Germany went 2-0 down to them says a lot about how inconsistent the German national side is right now. And yeah, it's very similar actually to after the men's had great success. They won the World Cup in the men's game, and then had a couple really difficult tournaments, and then same in the women's game. Though they didn't win the final in Euro in 2022, that was still a really close game.
Yeah.
And you know, they were in there. They did get that far, and if Pop hadn't got injured, I feel like they may well have won that match.
Maybe.
So yeah, they are a very good team.
Yeah, as for
Or were a
England's
very good
group,
team, but they've
obviously,
fallen off recently.
France lead Ireland at half time. That is what you expect now. And
Is there any chance for an Ireland comeback in the second half, do you think?
I highly doubt it. I think France should see that through now. But that is what you expect, though. France and England, your front runners of the group, and then Ireland and Sweden are going to be bringing up the rear of the four. For Ireland,
Well,
it's gonna be
that's a
difficult.
debatable topic. Sweden or France, who's more likely to get through?
I think France. I think France should have better quality, really. I think it'll be closer. I really do.
I was going to say, I'm not sure I agree.
Fair
not
enough.
sure I agree.
think England will be top. I think
Yes,
we have to put a
they've
statement.
got some really good players, Gretzky, Euro, Cascarino, Diani, but I just think the overall quality of the Sweden team is slightly better.
Fair enough.
But it's obviously we have to actually find out on Tuesday whether anything we're saying is true. Equally, France do have Eva Perisset, so that's a great.
Yeah, maybe it's weird and everything.
Equally, Sweden have Joanna Wright and Ganna Wright.
They do. And, she's
And
been
if
really
Misovic
good tonight.
plays, two Chelsea players, so maybe they're better. Sam Paralluelo, by the way, with a hat-trick for Spain tonight.
Wow.
Really strong performance for her. But yeah, that's the thing.
Swinging under an man.
They haven't even got Bonmati playing for them.
Oh, don't say that.
Not even playing Bonmati and then winning 4-0.
They are crazy. They're absolutely crazy. They're a
Yeah.
really, really strong side. They're really going to challenge this England team as well. But overall,
Indeed.
I think it's going to be a really, really good tournament. Let's make sure we get there.
Yeah, we shouldn't really have any issues getting to the tournament. That should be the most basic job. And I feel like this is a quite an easy group, so we shouldn't have any difficulty
Very
there.
good start as well. We can make sure tonight
Yeah.
is a formality now.
I don't think Ireland will win a single game.
I'm entirely. I think you can.
I was going to say, I think I agree with you.
Yeah.
We're hoping to go and watch England-Ireland in July.
Yeah.
So hopefully
We'll
England win
lose
that
that
game.
one.
Yeah,
Well, dismal
typically. Or England already froze, they just
Yeah.
play a youth
Obviously,
side.
we are away in Ireland on Tuesday night. If we win tonight, that 6 points from the
Again,
Christmas
unfortunately, we
trip.
can't stream that, but we'll have a look at the result, of
Yeah.
course. We'll be very interested in that. But
Definitely.
yeah.
But I think it's looking better from the Lionesses. We've bounced back well from the World Cup heartbreak last year, and we need to prove a point. If we win the Euros again, then you're looking at a side who would have won at the Euros, World Cup finalist, won the Euros again. That's phenomenal. That is like ridiculous. That is ridiculous if that was going to happen.
So we didn't win that World Cup,
I know.
really, but we weren't good in that tournament, to be honest. We should.
We really won't get in that final.
We really shouldn't have been in that final based on our performances earlier in the tournament. It wasn't good enough last summer, and next summer has to be better.
Yeah, definitely. 100%.
But yeah. Anyway, should be this second half getting underway shortly. Unfortunately, I'm not sure who we're paying tribute to here. But
I think it's England Deaf Team one.
perhaps.
I know.
Nice to pay tribute to him.
But Lioness is coming back out for the second half now.
Feels like they need a bit more communication.
Yeah. Which is a bit ironic.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's make sure this game is put to bed now and is a formality with no hiccups.
Indeed, let's hope that is the case. England shouldn't have any issues in this second 45. Sweden will be hoping to mount some sort of a comeback.
Yeah. Right. Let's go. I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah.
Let's go and a couple more goals.
Hopefully so. Like Sweden's kit as well, by the way. Big fan of that.
It's fine. I like this England kit. I think it's a nice kit. I think everyone's too fussy about the bloody cross.
I don't think everyone is. I think a small minority of very vocal voices
Yeah, a loud
are
minority.
upset. Yes. But
Extremely loud.
I was going to say,
But yeah.
politicians more worried about that.
No, so at the end of the day, Sweden are only 1-0 down though. They're still in this game. They could still get something. It's definitely not a foregone conclusion just yet.
Yeah. So, we're prepared to get underway here for the second half here at Wembley. Alyssa Russo will knock the ball back and get us underway for another 45 minutes of action. Ref blows a whistle, Russo knocks it back, and we're underway here at Wembley. It's England 1, Sweden 0 heading into this second half. Can England consolidate it and win their first game of the Euro 2025 qualifiers, or will Sweden mount a comeback in the second half? Greenwood, Charles, and they lose the ball. There's Lundqvist. Played forward by Sembrant, and that's a headed flick on for Sweden. England trying to win the ball back, but it is a little bit of a struggle. Rolfo. And now Angeldal. Canaride, nice link up down that right hand side. But Kosovari Aslani's pass doesn't exactly find its intended target. James, Greenwood back now to our goalkeeper Mary Earps, and she'll go along with it, just seeking to get rid of it. James can't keep that in play, but does bring it down. Again, I'm not exactly sure why the instruction to Mary Earps has been, if you have the ball and it looks like we're going to lose it, just smash it over towards Serena.
Really
she
random.
can't bring it down, unfortunately.
She probably could, but she's not allowed to. Starts bursting down the right. Equally, what I love at Wembley is because of where the dugouts and the actual technical areas are, the poor pitcher has to stand there like a right knob.
Yeah, because if they sit down, he's just alone. Welsh.
Stood by himself.
And, Spain have 5.
Wow. They are a force. Because Belgium, I mean, they're not a great side.
It does feel like the groups have been weighted horribly.
Yeah.
Like the England, Sweden, France, Belgium one is a disgusting group where one big nation is going to be out.
Ireland.
Well,
France,
no,
Sweden,
I mean...
Ireland.
What did I say?
France, Sweden, Belgium.
Not Belgium. Belgium with Spain, Denmark and Czechia.
That is the group.
Spain are through.
Yeah.
Denmark will
Second,
get through.
Czech third,
And then,
I don't like groups like that. I mean, you can literally call it from the off.
then you've... Well, I think... I don't know if Norway's much different. You know, Norway should come second to Netherlands. I know Italy are definitely up there, but it'll probably be Netherlands top, then Italy or Norway through. I mean, Finland are definitely bottom.
Anderson
Puts the ball in there, headed away. And then you've got Iceland, Germany, Austria, Poland. Provided Germany don't decide to make every game this difficult, they should get through alongside... Well, it depends how good Iceland are, but...
Austria, Germany and Poland
I would have said
very fast
Austria.
travel for all their games.
It's lovely little... If Iceland could just relocate a little bit
Poor
closer...
Iceland.
Get Luxembourg in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Switzerland are League B, yeah, so... Slight...
Oh, they've got to qualify their own
different stuff.
tournament.
Switzerland? No, so I don't know why they are.
What's the point? That's ridiculous. That's bizarre.
Sweden...
Yeah,
Will
with tonight,
will
I'm expecting to see changes very early on, because we have got I look Wu Moy, James, Russo, and Charles all played in a 120-minute cup final on Sunday.
Yeah.
I would not expect to see any of them getting more than 60 minutes, really.
I don't think she's going to make 4 subs.
Oh, okay, yeah, not 70 maybe then, not 70. Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't think they'll get a whole game.
Oh, it just brings off Greenwood.
Yeah.
Like, don't make it that obvious you love Man City.
Or the Gareth Taylor's
On the buzzer.
Oh, and a swing and
Bring in a Rolfo. Yeah, just does. Completely misjudging that, really. Bronze.
If she had hit that, we could have been in a bit of trouble.
Yeah.
Slow start for England in this second half, but we did the same in the first, and then we got into the game. So maybe we should need a bit more time to get back into this time.
Yeah, if I was Serena, I'd take off all the Chelsea players on the pitch. Even Canaride.
I would bring on Daly at left back, Park, Kelly.
Is she our backup left back now?
Who is our left? Turner, Carter. Carter can play there, but that's not
ideal.
Who is our backup left back?
I guess maybe Morgan could do a shift there.
Yeah, I suppose. Or Greenwood.
I'm guessing Daly is it,
Daly
though.
will play Greenwood there. Yeah. Clinton driving inside beats 2.
I was going to say a couple
Ooh.
swings.
Oh,
That's really good from Bronze, and that's a lovely header from Olma. Here's Stina Blackstenius. Sorry, Felina Rolfo. Angeldal. Here is Canaride. Canaride into Blackstenius. Tries to hold off Greenwood. Forced back, though, by Alex Greenwood. I think if you need any indications to who should play, who should start for Arsenal, today probably provides the greatest demonstration that it should be Alessia Russo.
I mean, it should be a no-brainer anyway.
Yeah, I feel like they just don't know what they're doing sometimes tactically.
No.
I don't think Mead's had a very good season. I know there'll be Arsenal fans that don't like
that's expected.
that statement.
That's 600% expected.
Yeah, Ford's been quiet. Sorry to any Aussies or Arsenal fans, but she hasn't been very good this year.
Lacasse has actually done really well when she's played.
Yeah. They can't decide which player they want to play in attack midfield, which is not a great thing to not be able to decide.
Midfielder. Kim Little's bloody good at football.
But they keep rotating her, and obviously, I don't imagine we'll see Frida Man for the rest of the season, unfortunately, and we hope she recovers soon. I hope they figure out what actually happened in that final to her, so they can provide her the best care possible. But yeah, for Arsenal, I feel like there's so many things Alderweireld just doesn't know.
No.
Greenwood.
Nailed on. Actually, no, it's not, because the goalkeeper changed every week.
Yeah. They missed out on Earps and went, oh well. We won't do that then.
We'll just play a different goalkeeper every game.
And now it looks like they're going to pay more than they would have paid for Earps for Daphne van Domselaar. Baffling.
Who is a very good goalkeeper. But,
oh, undoubtedly.
I mean, poor Villa.
I'd argue it's a better signing, but and she's young, but 6 months later, innit?
Yeah.
Have they took themselves out of contention of the title with that?
Yeah.
Does Mary Earps keep them in that Chelsea game for a little longer than Zinsberger did? Here's Canaride.
Oh, yeah, of course. Doesn't just punch into her own net.
Or just punch up in the air. Then everyone just stands around going, where's that goal then? Oh, hang on, it's in the net.
Oh, conceded. Oh, that was fun right now today.
Anyway.
Look. Lundqvist does well there to dodge Clinton's tackle.
Yeah, carries the ball forward, just playing it through into Blackstenius now, who manages to get around with Moy, winning the ball back, knocking it out of play for a corner. She's played really well today, Lotte Wubben-Moy.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing we've also not... I said earlier, surely it's Greenwood and Wubben-Moy. Completely blank Leah Williamson.
Yeah, good point.
Who will surely return into that role. Millie Bright is, unfortunately, left out, I'd say.
Yeah. That is a shame.
Unless it is Williamson and
Bright.
Bright.
What you mentioned, Greenwood and Wubben-Moy.
But that's two right-sided centre-halves, isn't it?
Yeah.
Who's Bright left side?
Bright's left side.
Well, there you go, fine then.
I think it'll be Williamson and Greenwood.
Yeah, I'd say that as well.
I like Wubben-Moy, but I don't think she's better than Leah Williamson.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, England, it's been a pretty poor start this second half. Not really got going.
Yeah, just on the topic of team as well, I think the biggest point of contention is who starts out wide.
Yeah.
I don't think Chloe Kelly should be in the conversation for a starting role. I don't think Ella Toon should be anywhere near the conversation for a starting role. Right. But she is going to come off the bench. Yeah. Weird timing. But Lauren James, for me, is a no-brainer. It's just where you fit her in.
Yeah.
And in that case, you're then left with Mead, Hemp, and potentially Kelly. But I quite like the team for tonight.
Park.
I don't think she starts.
But she midfield rotation. I think this midfield. Oh, hang on, that's a good ball to Canaride.
I think this midfield is what will start next tournament.
Yeah, for me, this midfield's nailed on.
Unless Clinton has a bad season next year, for whatever reason.
But could you see Jess Park playing that role that she's playing in for City right now?
Yeah, or we could see James playing midfield and attacking midfield, and then that allows you to have Mead and Hemp.
Score loads of goals.
Maybe.
That's what happens.
Maybe we just give the ball to James and she just scores loads of goals. Hemp. Stanway back towards Lauren Hemp.
Better football from England.
Driving forwards, driving inside, well with the ball. Hemp plays it, tries to play it through, but it doesn't quite come off. Now here comes Sweden the other way.
Right idea there, right idea. God, big tackling there from Neve Charles, but Canaride shrugs her off and keeps running. And this is really good. Canaride's still going, but eventually dispossessed by Kira Walsh in the middle.
Yeah.
Back with Charles is going to bring it forward.
Quite interestingly, by the way, Portugal not seeded in the top bracket
Not surprised, not very good.
this tournament. No, but are they worse than Finland, Iceland?
Iceland looked very good earlier.
They did look very good. Poland, Ireland.
Yeah, maybe. That's a good ball.
That's a really good ball. Russo here, and she's offside.
Score anyway. Oh, we do.
Yeah, just knock it home, wheel away.
Yeah, enjoy it. Was she off?
No, not even close.
I don't. Well, I'm gonna say this. The offside decisions from officials on the pitch in the women's game are horrific.
Yeah, there are
In every game.
just...
And I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. You know.
Yeah.
It's just,
I don't know if it's just because I don't watch enough men's football where they don't have VAR, which might be the explanation. I don't watch enough championship football. That might be something that is just has always been an issue, but I've not really noticed it in recent years because VAR exists and refs don't put other flags.
I mean, the only place I noticed it when I go to watch a non-league game at the
ground. And you've got some 70-year-old bloke who might as well run up and down, jog up and down blind.
England changed then. Grace Clinton coming off.
Yeah, that is an odd choice.
She's the only player that probably doesn't need resting.
Yeah.
That's so bizarre. I just want to give two.
One of the only players on the pitch. Yeah, I get that, but she's one of the only players on the pitch that isn't currently involved in a title fight.
Yeah.
Or, a fight for Europe. And we've gone, we'll hook her after 60 minutes. My only thought is that does that just mean she starts against Ireland and maybe players like James won't? If we're really confident.
Bowling.
She's lifted that towards the back post and it's
corner.
Seen out by Lindqvist. Well, knocked out by Lindqvist.
England now coming forward again, trying to retake control of this game because I do feel that since the break, Sweden have been the better side and we do need to get a stranglehold on this now. If we could score from this corner, that would do exactly that. And Lauren Hemp is going to go over and take it. Needs a good ball in here.
Indeed.
We've got a lot of options in there. We've gone short.
Which is a choice. Isabel says maybe just because Tooney has scored in a Euro before. Yeah, she is a player that... No, I'm not doubting that she maybe should have come on.
And she scored double for United.
Yeah, but...
Yeah,
no, my issue isn't with Tooney. With Toon coming on, my issue is Clinton being the one that goes off and not one of our many players. We could have brought off Lauren James there and moved Clinton out wide, for example. We could have taken Georgia Stanway off, someone who's in a title fight with... I mean, I'm not exactly sure whether there's a fight anymore, but she is in a title. I feel like,
there is one around her.
I get the for tonight, the focus has to be on getting the win, getting through, but there's got to be... Serena's got to think about her players, who's got something that they're playing for in their club season, and who plays for Tottenham. I guess Tottenham do have an FA Cup semi-final after the international break, but let City play. Let City's players play, because they don't have a game after the internationals.
Yeah.
And I hope they pick up injuries. Oh, I hope they don't. Angeldal, here's Kennery.
That Neve Charles needs to be rested. Because she made 130 odd minutes at the last weekend, and now she's already played another 58 here.
I'm back by Black Stenius against Greenwood, and that's going to be a corner, I think.
No.
That will be a goal kick, fortunately. Yeah, not sure what... No, it will be a corner, yeah. Thought so.
Well, Greenwood's now going to have a few words with the lineswoman.
Points to her head as well, which is... not the smartest thing to do.
No.
Ironically. He'd pick yourself a yellow card for that.
Does she?
No, could easily.
Oh, yes, she could even. Now, Anderson on the corner for Sweden. They're going to look to in-swing this on the back post. They've got 4 players stood there, even one stood in the goal. Ball in.
Punches it away, and that's blocked by him.
Toon plays appeal for handball, definitely wasn't. And
James releases Ella Toon. Toon's not going to get there though. Good defending from Canaride.
Toon's not. They've got the pace there for who you want to be on the counter with.
Yeah.
But England, we are now half an hour out from a victory. It has been, as Isabella says, slow half. It has been a bit of a slow burner, especially for the Lionesses who haven't really got going properly. But realistically, we are just trying to see this game out.
Greenwood.
Right, we're trying to see it out
Bosh.
with 1-0, and the worry of that is that they could score, and then we're in trouble. Greenwood.
Lifting it in behind for Toon, but that will be claimed. Sorry, Stanway, sorry. Claimed well by Falk.
Yeah. Not quite coming off there for him. And this was the appeal from Sweden for penalty. Nope, hits
that shoulder blade.
Yeah. Good block in the end. She was a bit lucky because her arms were up.
Black stuff against Wimbledon does really well.
Yeah, good defending against her teammate.
Yeah. The issue for Sweden is Black hasn't been very effective this evening, but there isn't really an option for them to look at on the bench.
No.
Falling asleep.
No, I am.
They could look at Rosa Kafai, who's been a revelation with Bika Häcken in the UWCL this season.
That's a ball up for Russo. Can Russo get on the end of it? Not quite. But forces a mistake out of Lundqvist, and that ball does leave the field of play, and will be an England throw in the Sweden half. And there is a double change for the away side. And this is going to be
Anderson off as the left back, I believe. And that will be number 5, which is Nilden. Of course, the Tottenham player, Amanda Nilden.
Oh, yeah. And then
number 14, that is Kafai. So you'd imagine this would be for Aslani. Yeah, it's Aslani.
Yeah.
Kosovar Aslani.
Sweden.
If
they can find a goal, that's a big point for Sweden.
Well, exactly.
And England needs to be careful. This game is not.
Kafai is a dangerous player. We saw that in the UWCL.
And the way we're
playing, phenomenal against Chelsea.
Yeah, we're playing like with 3-0 up.
Yeah, in a team that weren't that good, but Bika Häcken got out of the group and on merit.
Yeah, they really did.
They did give PSG a really good go.
They definitely did that too. Bronze to Lauren James. Cuts it. Oh, that's superb from James. Now she's got to look left. She manages to find. That's a foul. Referee. What are you on about? Terrible decision. Bronze wins it back anyway. Lauren James finds it. Lauren James has a go over the bar. I mean, that was a stonewall free kick on Stanway, I think it was. I mean, Lauren James here, not a bad effort. Just gets under it. Leans back.
I was going to say, looking down at the ball, not really looking at where she's going to place it.
Yeah. Not a terrible effort, but not going to trouble anyone from that.
No.
Sweden playing out there. Playing out pretty well, and that is a great ball over the top.
Kind of right. One second on Greenwood. And England looking to make a change now with Beth Mead, the player that will be introduced. Kafai does want to hold on to the ball. Is brought down. It's a free kick in a good area.
Yeah, but yeah, Beth Mead going to come on and try and change this game for England, try and give us something. We're going a little bit flat in the second half, maybe bring some energy.
Not exactly sure what Sweden are doing at the moment. Here's Charles, had a play.
We won it back, and then Hemp decided to put us under a load of pressure again, and then Charles takes a poor touch and has to put it out of play.
It's like they're asleep there from England. Here's Kafai, lifts it towards Fridolina Rolfo, and that is awful goalkeeping from Mary Earps. Sweden are level. England 1, Sweden 1. I'm not exactly sure what Earps was doing there at the back post. Or how that ball has got into the box. It's a terrible throw-in. No one reacts. It's then hooked into the box by Kafai, and Fridolina Rolfo heads it in at an angle that really shouldn't have gone in.
I mean, what can we say? That was a long time coming. Sweden have been the better side in the second half. Sloppy play from England. We don't react to the quick throw. It's really poor, and it really sums up how the second 4 is going. And Rolfo's completely unmarked, and it's terrible goalkeeping from Mary Earps.
Well, Bronze is there, doesn't really jump with her, and that is hapless from Earps.
Really poor from everyone involved from England. We have been terrible in this second half. You know, since half time, Sweden have been the better side, and they've got their goal, and they thoroughly deserve that.
Yeah, I'm not sure what else is trying to do there.
And England, really poor. And now, 26 minutes to go, and what should have been a 3 points wrapped up and in the bag.
Yeah.
We said they're playing like they're 3-0 up. We're not. We 1-0 up, and now we're drawing.
We just didn't deal with that ball in the corner. Sweden get that
Didn't
throw
react.
in, and no one reacts to it. And then a ball gets looped in, a good ball in from Cafe. She's completely changed the dynamic of that Sweden attack.
It's slow.
And off her head home.
It's really poor from England. Is it a consequence of the fact that half of our team
Really
has
good
played
from
so
Lauren
minutes?
James, and that's swept up by Amanda Nilden. But one back
Yeah.
again by James, and that should be a corner, but it's not.
I'm one of Neve Charles' biggest fans, but that whole scenario comes because her and Hemp are fanning around in the corner, and Charles gets the ball, takes a bad touch, and it goes out for a throw, and that's the throw that no one reacted to. That's a Neve Charles who has played. We're looking at nearly 190 minutes in the last 5 days.
And again, it begs the question, why are we playing this now?
Yeah.
Why
I
are we
even
playing
say,
now?
why is she still on the pitch?
It doesn't feel like we should have an international break now. We should have had one.
Yeah.
We should start the qualifiers when we played the friendlies a few months ago.
Yeah.
Because there was no reason not to. Why play around the friendlies when we didn't need to? And then play... Because even if we did this weird system, we could still play again in July, still play again in October, and have time to do the playoff stuff before the Euros. So I don't get this system.
Yeah.
Or just qualify like we normally do.
Yeah, that's a good idea as well. Everyone in chat's right though. Isabella saying they just let her have it. Alex saying that was bad from all round. Everyone asleep from the throat. Yeah, all spot on. And yeah, Sweden do deserve it. Second half, they've outplayed England. They've been the better side.
But then the question is why on earth that's happened, because England should be beating them here, and Rolpo's in. Or is it Blackstone's? It's still Blackstone's for Sweden, and it's just wide.
What a miss.
That should have
What a miss.
That should have gone for Blackstone's, and for England, they are throwing this away.
Goal. And I said in the first half that Sweden have played really well.
Wimbledon got caught out.
But the difference is that England were just playing better. Now Sweden haven't changed their level. First half, England were miles ahead of them. England have dropped the standard massively, and Sweden are taking full advantage because they're still playing the same way, and that should be 2-1 to the away side. That is a massive miss from Stina Rattenius and a huge let-off for England, and now Beth Mead comes on, hopefully, to change
James,
the
the player
that makes a lot
comes
of sense.
off. I'm glad because she played a lot of football, but she was the only player for England that has done anything this evening. And Mead and Stanway linking up on this right-hand side. Now it's with Toon who can feed it back through to Mead. 6-0 Spain, meanwhile.
And that's the difference. I know it's Belgium.
I was going to say.
I know it's Belgium and Sweden, but that is the difference.
Belgium, who have Justin Van Havermet, and that is about it.
And here comes Sweden again. Engeldahl running down the left-hand side. Don't know where Bronze is. Now getting back in, just putting a good tackle, to be fair to her. But apparently that is deemed a foul. 22 minutes to go. England need a goal. This is not good enough. A draw is a rip because we already had that advantage over to France.
Or Ireland.
And we've
Do
said
not
in match
count them
week
out.
1 how important it is to get the points on the board early.
Yeah.
And as Isabella says, that's a game-changing miss. Because, that could have been... If it's 2-1 Sweden, then suddenly we're bang in trouble.
And Serena sat down. Has gone from looking like a rock star with her cool mascara.
It looked like she's been through a breakup.
Yeah, exactly. Looking like she's had a rough night.
Yeah. Dragged out a hedge at 2 a.m. Really need to step it up, England. We still have time. And there is one side that can do it. It is England. But we need to step it up. We've made changes now. In attacking areas. Let's see them pay off. Really not good enough from the lionesses so far.
Yeah. Spain 6th, by the way, scored by someone I've never heard of, called Sheila.
Sheila.
Yeah.
Right, Sheila.
Right, Sheila, yeah. Spanish player, a Spanish defender, right back for Atletico.
Good for her.
But yeah, 6-0 Spain. They are doing quite well, to be fair.
They are. Meanwhile,
Well,
England are having fun.
I said they've got only Justine Van Havermet. That is wrong. They do have Tissiak as well. As for the rest of the squad, I don't recognise anyone.
That is a brilliant switch of the play to Johanna Writing Kaneride in Sweden and coming forward again here. Plays a 1-2. Kaneride.
Kafai tries to fashion some sort of opportunity. Kaneride. Angodal. And that is not how to play.
I'm really worried because we have 20 minutes here, and if anything, it looks like Sweden are going to find a winner.
Yeah. Ball, and that's headed away by Bronze. Now Rolfo.
England, we are chasing this game. We are chasing the ball around. Sweden are just playing around us.
Toad says if Beaver Jones was here today, that'll be a different story. I love Aggie. I'm not sure she makes a huge difference in today's game. Maybe just inject a bit of pace into the match, into the England attack.
She's got to get call up soon.
Yeah.
Also, I know she was meant to play and then ended up playing for the... She was on the bench, but she obviously, during those friendlies, she'd probably played for the under-23, so that would have been difficult.
Yeah. The fact that Jess Park's been handed minutes and opportunities.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Aggie hasn't is confusing to me.
Well, Jess Park's been brilliant.
Yeah, but that came after her England opportunity.
Yeah, good point.
That her best game for City was. And I want some of that post-international.
Oh, that's another slotty pass from Georgia Stanway. She's not been good enough today.
Angled up.
Kaneride. Luckily, she forgot the ball.
I think that was Kafat. Oh, that's Kaneride, yeah. The ball. I don't know. Ball just ran back into trouble.
We need to simplify it and stop putting ourselves under unnecessary pressure.
Freddie Rodriguez Laguna says 1 goal more. We need, obviously, if there wants to be a winner in today's game, they will need to score a goal. With it being 1-0.
Better for England. Switches onto Hemp if Mead wants it.
7-0 Spain.
Mead's looking for it. Mead does try to find it. And just
almost.
Play.
Nice idea though from Beth Mead.
Yeah, I don't mind that. Yes, it's not paid off, but she's trying to get something going for England this game.
Yeah.
And lucky for Hemp not to reach out of the back post.
As I say though, Gonzalo adds her second and Spain's 7th to the game.
That is crazy. Spain are
ridiculous.
Tanking teams.
Yeah. France still 1-0 in that match.
Still time for Ireland then.
Well, exactly. If they were to draw, it suddenly makes this result for England
and it is
a whole lot better.
Chloe Kelly will be the next England change, probably for Lauren Hemp. Going to try and bring another factor to this England attack as Mead picks it up and gives it to Stanway.
Greenwood. Toon, and it's almost won back by Sweden, but England managed to get away with it. Rousseau now, just going to drive that ball forward for England. Did really well there. Mead tries to poke it through to Toon. Good area for Toon. Just cut it back into the box there, but there's nobody in there. Falls Rousseau on the edge. She fashions a shot, but it's up in the air. Hemp will put pressure on, but Falk claims it well.
That's a big waste from Toon. She doesn't look up and blindly cuts it back towards the penalty spot. If she looks up, she'd see that no one's running on and have a go herself.
But in this area, just
have a go, yeah. Cuts it back, doesn't realise that no one's there.
There's enough on it, Falk's not catching it.
Yeah.
So it's going to either be parried to someone or parried and cleared away.
Season.
Yeah.
And again, Bronze caught our position here, but luckily...
That decision making and that sharpness of Toon just isn't really there this season.
Well, England really need to butt their ideas up. As I said, Kelly is going to come on here in a few moments' time. But now it is going to be a Sweden change.
I recognise the face, but I cannot put a name to it.
Yes, to be fair, Sweden are going for this as well. They've been the much better side second half. I'm sure they'll fancy themselves to try and find a winner here.
Yeah, it's going to be the end of the evening for Philippa Angeldal.
Yeah, she's a good game. Works really hard out in midfield, as she always does. Does not stop running for her club or country. And luckily she's going to get a rest here. And she will be replaced by the number 23, which goes by the name of Rubinson.
I don't know why I recognise Rubinson. Oh, he used to play for BK Häcken. Has also played for Houston Dash and for...
Probably watched her play.
Probably saw it at the last World Cup as well.
Flicks it on to Stanway, who
Currently a
finds
free agent,
Ella Toon, who knocks it on to Lauren Hemp. England playing some... It's not coherent, but it's better football. Hemp runs into trouble, and now Sweden are breaking.
Blackstenius. Can she get a shot away? No,
She's
good
turning
defending.
trouble. She should have gone left. But again, Bron, we might be trying to dribble
Not
out.
sure why. Luckily, Blackstenius' pass is poor.
We're playing ourselves into trouble.
Stanway.
Like why? Here, we're not. Why we're under pressure at the back, and we're passing it back into the danger zone.
By the way, I think Annie Rubinson coming on. That's the first time I saw a free agent play international football in a while.
Yeah.
Currently without a club after a spell at Houston Dash.
Mm.
I mean, to be fair, she did play with them as of 6 days ago, so I'm not sure if this free agent thing is correct.
Oh, yeah, it might be that they don't have a dash on then. Ball feast into...
Or they just haven't updated her from a free agent to Dash. Because she was playing for BK Häcken. Her contract expired in January.
Yeah.
Obviously, Häcken. So she would have played against Chelsea and Real and stuff, which is probably why I recognise her. And obviously she featured in every game for them last year in the World Cup.
And it's round to the corner. Neve Charles gets on the end of it, and that's a big tackle in there. Is she going to come away with it? Who knows? It's still a battle in there between England and Sweden, but the Swedes come away with it.
But now it falls for Greenwood. Walsh. That's a poor pass out to Charles, which just keep it in play. Greenwood. Now Walsh.
England needs something in this game. Is Chloe Kelly what they need to get a winner?
Yeah. Welcome, MZ Kadoya saying hello, Jack and Harry. Good to see you, MZ.
Poor touch there from Canride, and here comes the England double change. Kelly and Jess Carter. There's one player you want to bring on when you're chasing a game. It's Jess Carter.
Yes, go and score.
My best guess is
Well,
she's
on the
gone
back heel.
She's gone on left back to replace Charles.
Could be. To be fair, Ruben Moy keeps fasting on the ball,
She does keep
which is
doing
also
that.
an issue.
So I know she did play also 120 minutes. So
But so did Carter. Why not Turner? Don't really get it from.
Greenwood, big tackle, but
Fragments,
Sweden still have the ball. Canride just dispossessed there by Bronze, and the flag goes up anyway. 13 minutes, still England 1, Sweden 1, and the double change will happen now. That's Russo off. Is it?
Kelly.
No.
Number 9.
Yeah.
Yeah. End of Alessia Russo's evening, and
Kelly going up front.
place is Chloe Kelly.
Or it's Jess Carter going up front. So Chloe Kelly will lead the line for England in the last 12 minutes, and Neve Charles will be replaced by her teammate for club and country, Jess Carter. Jess Carter's probably had a rest. Sorry, Neve Charles probably also rest. Go and sleep. Stanway to Greenwood. England need a goal in the next 12 minutes. And that ball is going to fall 2-2.
Now it's with Mead, who lays it off to Carter. Mead again. Toon has to dribble around the referee. Now plays it towards Hemp, who cuts it back, but it's not found an intended target. And she's skipped away well from Bronze there. Cattenaride. Such a good player. How she takes it past Stanway as well. Blackstenius back towards Canaride. Brilliant drive from Joanna Wright and Canaride, but Bronze does recover it back to Marriott.
Well recovered by Bronze, but Canaride causing us all sorts of problems once again. Now she's moved over to this left-hand side to allow
Kafai? Still attacking midfield, I think.
Oh.
I'm not sure. I'm guessing Rolfo switch flanks.
Yeah. Kelly.
Now Walsh. Fun. It's back towards Kelly, but there's just a little nick in there from Rubinson that just took the pace out of the ball.
It's not working for England. It's not clicking. Second
Kafai
half
tries to
been
flick it to Rolfo. Just find it.
So far away from the first half.
That ball from Sweden was hospital, and no one picked up on it from England.
100%.
Isabel says Canada is pretty scary down that line. Yeah, brilliant footballer.
No.
We're all well aware of that, aren't we?
A brilliant season once again.
Ruben Moy. Gives it to Stanway.
Just needs to be quicker for it. And that slot, Stanway's been really poor tonight. Really poor.
It's at the start that she needs to step up.
Yeah.
I don't think she was particularly good now with the friend who's played a while ago. It was a little bit all over the place.
She's half-assed. And Wooten Moy takes off.
Taken off by Texas.
That's just stupid. It's really stupid. From Wooten Moy. But yeah,
I think that was a little accidental, to be fair.
But Stanway, it looks half-assed. It does a loose pass. Rather than chase it down, she just gives up on it and moves on.
Yeah. I think, again, it might just be that she's knackered. And this game isn't of the utmost importance to her, which is understandable. You know, the qualifiers being played at this point in the season, I think, is really silly. Really silly. Because most teams have either got 5-4 games left, or have got loads of matches because they're competing in the Champions League and various cup competitions and stuff like that. So why are we playing these games now? Like they're necessary to decide who goes to Euro 2025. But I don't know. Just feels like now isn't the perfect time to play them.
Yeah, agreed. And now England, we're hanging on to a point here.
We were nice to give players a 2-week rest and have started the qualifiers a month or so ago. Sweden will carry the ball forwards now. Magdalena Eriksson.
Had a good game, Eriksson.
Gafai tries to head it down.
But like, what are we're slow? It's
good from Stanway. Toon gets fouled in there.
Nice, really.
Trying to fight for the ball is Lauren Hemp, but it's not giving us anything.
England we're not moving it enough. We're not moving it quick enough.
Toon with the high press here.
We're not having that.
Fourth foul into a mistake. It's different, Toon.
Exactly what I
expected. There's a bit of a fight in there from Ella Toon. So
substitute.
It's something we've missed.
Should be running like that. That's what I'd expect from every sub that's to come on. 20 minutes. Kelly.
I also can't just determine whether she's like really tired and gone red faced or whether this fake hand's gone wrong.
Kelly. I guess someone I expect the energy from today hasn't been benched by City in the last couple of minutes.
That's a weird decision from the fullback there. And then the ball goes into the box, but it's not dealt with by Sweden. From England makes any contact with it.
Not paying off for England.
Should have made. Lindqvist there is heading the ball into the ground. Yeah. Nothing's happened. We make nothing happen from it. Baffling stuff.
Thoroughly disappointed.
Yeah, so it felt like a good chance to kick our qualification off in style. Instead, we've sputtered and not really got going.
The volume between the first half and the second half performance is really not good enough.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Needs to be better. Needs to be better. And Sweden are still coming forward, and they're pushing for a winner here. Rolfo can't quite get that pass through.
Toon. Now it's with Clinton. Stanway, sorry.
Greenwood, England, we need that urgency, we need that pace to our play. Mead. Again, as a substitute, I expect to see more energy from her.
Stanway almost gets caught in possession there. Does now find the ball out wide to Carter. Carter goes back to Greenwood. Greenwood has options ahead of her.
Sweden readying a double change.
Carries it forward, then tries a long ball. Doesn't quite come off. Falls to Carter. Walsh. Stanway. First time back into Walsh. Not bad at all. Greenwood. Goes down the line. Carter holds on to it. Back to Greenwood. Now with Moy. Plays it into Stanway. Under pressure, Georgia Stanway. Lifts it out wide into Kelly, and this is good. England spreading Sweden now. Kelly puts the ball in. Not really much presence in the air in there. Now it's out wide. Kelly again. Might have a chance to deliver this ball. It's in the air, but it's not going to meet an intended target. Will stay alive here at the back post with Mead. Walsh. Carter. Walsh. Nice stuff. Plays it inside. Toon in the box. Goes back out to Carter. Toon. Looks to deliver it here and it's cleared away. It drops on the edge. And Kafai holds onto the ball, but it's going to spill out to Toon. Cleared away by Sweden. Kept alive again by Moy, but it's won by Black Tennis, who turns her and now she's running away with Black Tennis. I don't have to go much further as Moy gets back in. Yeah, she dealt with a threat from her teammate earlier on, but now she just hasn't been able to.
Start change for Sweden. Roll post night is over.
Coming on her place is Janogy, the Fiorentina forward. And Stina Black Tennis, the other player to depart. And that'll be Amvergaard flanking up at BK Häcken.
Sweden making the changes, ready to and pushing to find a winner.
Yeah.
Which is not a situation this game should be in. But alas, we are here and we're going to have to deal with it. 4 minutes left of the 90. Not expecting too much additional time either.
Bronze.
Does she fancy that ball?
That's a weird one, Stanway.
Let's look up the whole time that I'm going to play it along and then just fizz it at my teammates.
And then fizz it through the legs of Hemp to a teammate. Good stuff from Black Tennis today, though.
Yeah, really good.
She hassled with Moy constantly. As you say, she probably should have got a goal, but still. Bronze. Plays it forward.
Good from
Kelly. Stanway.
Come on.
Tries to back to Kelly. It's over here, but Kelly will keep it alive. Ball goes into the box. I'm not sure why we resort to crosses when we're taking off all our aerial presence.
Georgia Stanway, another poor pass.
Yeah. Like, surely Rachel Daly would have been a better choice.
Yeah.
If we're going to play it in the box. Or in the air, sorry.
Toon gets a corner feet. Sweden clear it again. 3 minutes left of the 90. That's a flick around the corner. Not going to get to anyone. But Kelly can force it to win a throw.
Switch to the play. Headed away, though. It's going to drop for Carter. If anyone was dreaming to have a chance to win, they do indeed. Still time in this match. Walsh plays it through. Lauren Hemp, it's saved. Hemp again, and it's blocked off the line. England, a huge chance goes begging. Magdalena Eriksson. Magnificent to keep that out.
Yeah, and it's much, much better for England. We move it quickly. Sweden can't keep up. A good initial effort. Big save from Falk. And the
hits Hemp again.
Not much Hemp can do with that from that angle. Really good defending from Eriksson.
That's brilliant from Mags, isn't
Corner
it?
to England. Now we're starting to put the pressure on.
Falk will punch away. Toon will go and get the ball. This has got to go back in the box. It does go back in the box. Headed away. It will fall at the back post to Mead.
What a save.
And Falk have produced another excellent stop.
And this is better for England. We're putting them under pressure. We're putting pace on the ball now. And that is puts it into the ground. What a save.
Magnificent from Falk.
We questioned whether she should have replaced Musovic tonight. Maybe she should have.
Chance
huge performance.
Again for England. Mead puts it in there. Headed away a bit further this time. Toon. Touched it down to Carter. Toon again with left players in the box. Has to go in there. Bronze. Kelly. Now we're getting back because this isn't going anywhere.
No, and Kelly
and Nilden
dispossessed.
driving it forwards. The Tottenham fullback. And Carter will let that run. The ball out wide. And now England have got to get forward quickly. A minute of regulation time plus whatever is allotted for added time.
Falk doing so well to deny both Hemp and Mead.
With Moy.
I don't want to go gun-ho though because we still take a point for tonight.
Well, forward. Kelly. Toon.
Stanway. Bronze. Looks wide. Finds Kelly. Kelly delivers. It's blocked. Will it go for the corner? No, and it's kicked into Kelly, but it stays on. And Chloe Kelly will remain with the ball in her possession. Bronze. What is
on the floor?
that? And
Cleared away.
We are going to get
3 more minutes to play in this game of additional time. Toon tries to get around Ericsson, and Ericsson's a little aggressive in how she deals with Toon there, but it is within the rules.
Time running out for England to find a goal.
Yeah, not long left, as you say, for England.
Disappointing if we don't find a winner.
Yeah, indeed it is.
I know it was a tough game. It'd always be a tough game in Sweden, and you know, I'd maybe take the point going to kick off, but the difference, the drop off in performance and the drop in standard from England's first half to England's second half is not good enough, and Sweden thoroughly deserves something from this game. However, England are pushing on in these last few moments to try and find a winner.
It's a terrible ball down the line from Lucy Bronze.
That's really poor.
It just feels like it isn't going to come for England at this rate.
Some individual players on the pitch just were not good enough today. I know everyone switched off for the goal, but I think all round, Stanway, Bronze, Wu and Moy not had great games.
I mean, you mentioned there, Bronze and Stanway, they're two staple parts of an England side that have been so strong at recent tournaments.
Bronze maybe a little bit harsh. Stanway, I think, has been particularly poor.
I don't think Chloe Kelly's shown a whole lot since coming on. I think Mead's looked quite good since coming on, to be fair.
Toon has shown a bit of fight. That's a good ball in.
Hemp was much better out wide than through the middle. I think, I agree. Toon's showing a bit of fight. I think Walsh had a really difficult game.
Clinton was a bizarre one to bring off.
Yeah. I think Walsh and Stanway have just gave the ball away so often today.
Yeah. Or just keep turning back into trouble.
We're more the same. We've given the ball away so many times. Been so broken in build-up.
You could tell Charles was knackered for a minute.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think she played very well either. Ball towards Mead, but that touch lets her down.
And Sweden now resorted to hacking it away. Fair enough to them. This is a big point.
Exactly.
If they can take a point at England, take a point at France, and beat Ireland, they're through. Well, they're right up there at the end of the campaign.
They're in the conversation, yeah. Unless England and France trade wins.
Walsh. Stanway. Bronze. Kelly. Better. England. Building. Brilliant. Kelly. Balling. Hacked
away. Drops for Stanway. And it's blocked. Bronze. Kelly. Got to go back in the box. Does go back in the box. Cleared away again.
Last few seconds.
And then that's smart from Canna right there.
Sweden throw and that's
frustration of Bronze. Mila O'Connor says, where do you watch it? It's available on ITV if you want to catch the last seconds, but you've missed it now. England won, Sweden won, the full-time result. A frustrating one, really, for England. They would have wanted to kick off their Euro 2025 qualification campaign with a win, but that is not to be. It was a game where we started well. Russo scored early on, and it felt like we would, eventually get to win, but it didn't.
Yeah.
It didn't come. Didn't come for England's side. Unfortunate results as Isabella. Yeah, somewhat unfortunate. Shall we do a player of the match?
Yeah, I'm gonna get. Who am I gonna go for? To be honest, I really don't know.
It's a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you know what? I am gonna go to the other side of the pond. I'm gonna give it to Sweden.
To America.
And I'm gonna give it to Madeleine Eriksson.
Yeah, I agree. A spirited performance from her, and led by example. I would say, I'm tempted to go Lauren James because I thought she was very good, and that assist was exemplary. I'm gonna have to say Alessia Russo. I thought she was really good.
That's fair.
Despite the fact she picked up that injury, she fought on. She played really well, and took the goal well. Really well timed run, and the finish was good. You could look at any player for Sweden, really.
Yeah.
Not many of theirs put a foot wrong other than Sembrant for the goal. So, Falk made some huge saves there towards the end of the match. As you say, Eriksson was phenomenal throughout. Fridolina Rolfo was incredible. Canaride looked really good throughout the game. There's so many players you could touch upon, other than Blackstenius probably. She missed a few too many chances. It was a good game, football.
Sweden
ultimately, England as much as we're annoyed, I still don't think this massively impacts our chances of going through.
We beat Ireland on Tuesday.
Yeah.
We're okay.
Exactly that. And, we're only a couple of points behind France. If France lose to Sweden, we beat Ireland, suddenly we're top of the group. So I'm not inherently worried. I personally think Sweden are the strongest competition we have in the group.
Yeah.
I don't think a draw is necessarily terrible, but it depends on how we play against Ireland on Tuesday. We should beat Ireland with no issues. Then, of course, our next international break coming in June. Second week of June, first week of June, we have France twice in a week. So that's a weird scheduling thing from UEFA. Love you, UEFA. Anyway, that is everything from us today. Unfortunately, we're not live for the game between England and Ireland on Tuesday night. So our next stream will come in this way of an FA Cup semi-final. It's Chelsea versus Manchester United next Sunday, which I'm very excited for. So nothing this weekend, nothing in the midweek next week in terms of the streams, which is a shame, I know. But if you do want to catch us live, we'll be live over on our other channel, the Men's Football Chat, just the Football Chat. If you're trying to find it, we will be live for Liverpool versus Man United. So if you want to join us on Sunday, please do. In the meantime, there'll obviously be videos on this channel. Predictions will be back next week. And of course, a Wednesday video, as always. Maybe we'll even come up with something for Monday. It's a long shot, but you never know. We'll see. Anyway, that's everything from us today. Thank you guys very, very much for watching. And we'll see you next time.